Hello YouTube, my name's Alastair, or some people call me Chemo because of my lack of hair. I just want to start off by saying I'm not a YouTuber, I'm not a tutor. I'm just here to give some support and advice for people that are maybe in isolation or your business has been forced to shut by getting yourself on the web or getting your website sorted out. This will mitigate some of the costs that you might have incurred had you stayed open. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right from the beginning, from selecting a domain name to getting hosting, getting your first web page written up and going live and start selling stuff online. Seeing as delivery drivers are counted as key workers, I think now is probably the perfect opportunity to actually get online and start selling stuff online. So things to consider when you're picking a domain name. There's some faux pas, so absolutely do not do in the interests of getting ranked on Google and stuff. And there's some stuff that you really need to sort of consider. Obviously you want your business name in your domain, but also your the services that you provide. So for instance, if you're a locksmith, you might call yourself Keytech. Keytech.co.uk would be good, but then keytechlocksmiths.co.uk, because you've got that keyword locksmiths in your domain name, that will massively help your SEO. Keytech-locksmiths, however, is a bit of a faux pas. Leave hyphens out of your domain names. Well, the difference between .com and .co.uk, the main difference is just availability and cost. There's a lot of other domain extensions you can get now, even things like .pet and stuff, you know. So if you're a veterinary surgery, having .pet might be quite a good one. But on the flip side of that, some of these domain extensions can look a bit like spam. If you start doing mail shots to your existing customers, stuff like that, it might get filtered straight into their spam folder. Or if you're sharing a link, people might think that it's a spam link and not click on it. So your best bet is .co.uk or .com. Obviously .org if you're some sort of government organisation or charity or something like that. That's always a good one. If your domain is available and nobody else has used it before, you're likely only gonna get charged about a penny for your first year. So it's 1 pence. That's normally if you buy multi-year, so you'll have to buy at least 2 years. Your second year it'll be around about £10. So £10 and a penny for 2 years of having that domain. You know, it's better than paying £3,000 for somebody else to build your website for you, especially in this current climate. So so when we're searching for a domain name, if you go to any registrar, I normally use GoDaddy, so uk.godaddy.com. They've got a search bar right up on the front page, and so let's go for a locksmith. Locksmiths. Look at that, £273,476.94. Now this domain is available. Now the reason it's available is, looking at the price, most likely because somebody has had it, bought it before, and then let it expire. Now you can have any domain. Let's go for an arbitrary. I'll probably get that semicolon out of there. An arbitrary name, for instance, so I can show you the penny. So look at that, 1p for your first year, £11.99 for every year after that. Now if I bought that, it cost me £12, had it for 2 years, and then I let it expire, because I'd registered that once already, the registrar, ICANN, will know that it's it's been used before, so somebody else is likely to want it, so then the price becomes a premium price, and you end up paying 250 grand for it. So as you go in, just try and find one that's a reasonable price. Like I say, any domain that's never been registered before, you're likely to get it for a penny. With GoDaddy and any other sort of registrar will have some sort of deal on. It all goes through the same process. You have to pay ICANN fees, etc., but that's normally included in the price. Hence the 1p for the first year. That wouldn't cover the ICANN fees, so if they want you to register for your second year at the same time, just to cover those costs. I'll give you an example. Actually, Glueit. I had a website called Glueit. That cost me a penny when I registered it originally. Okay, it might have been glueit.com. I'm still registered. There we go. What about, say, Defence Medical? Let's see what that comes up with. There you go. Yeah. That's one I let expire. £1,393.47 now. That would have cost me a penny when I first got it, sort of 5 or 6 years ago. Alright, so once you've considered your domain name and you're happy with what you want to go for, you'll get it registered through whatever provider you choose. That doesn't mean that you need to have your hosting with that provider. You can have your website hosted by HostGator, GoDaddy, Cloudflare, anybody. Just go for whoever's offering the domain at the cheapest price. Obviously, some are going to rip you off, some are going to be very reasonable. So just spend a bit of time. If the first one that you see, don't just go for straight away, unless it is a penny. When you're looking at hosting providers, the price that you pay is based on how many visitors you think you're going to get. Now you can get hosting for say £3, but once you've got an established business and you can start getting concurrent visitors, sort of multiple visitors at once, that server's not going to be able to put up with the bandwidth, so then you're going to want to upgrade. The £3 ones that you get, there's not a lot of leeway that you get when it comes to configuring the server. You have to upload all your files via what's called FTP, which is like a file manager. Whereas if you go for the next one up, like a business plan, it costs you around about £7 to £10 a month. You'll have an entire panel, a C panel, control panel, and that'll have its own file explorer on there. You can manage your site certificates, your security certificates. You can add subdomains. So, for instance, I could have I've got my website is businessspider.co.uk, but then I've got another subdomain called store.businessspider, which is where I sell products from, and I've got wip.businessspider.co.uk, and that is where I build my websites from before they go live when I move them onto the client's own server. The amount of money, the amount of difference per month you're paying is a few pounds, but it's definitely worth starting out with that, especially if you're going to go for a subscription where you're gonna get a sort of a 5-year multi-buy discount or something like that. You know, go for the £7 to £10 ones. Anything with a C panel is what you want. Once you've decided what hosting provider to go for, there is some steps that you're going to need to follow to get your domain pointing to that host. And we go through what's called a dynamic name server. All you have to do basically is tell tell the registrar who you could bought your domain from where you want that domain to point to. So the actual physical address of the server or the IP address of the server. You can do that yourself. A few simple steps. If you struggle with it, you can give us a shout, and I'll take you through it, or even do it for you. It doesn't take long. Right, should we get on with it then? Let's have a look at building a website. Let's have a look. So let's go. So this is another subdomain that I was talking about, sandbox.businessspider.co.uk. Again, with a £7 hosting plan, you can have as many of these as you want within reason, but there is a limited bandwidth that you'll get as well. So the more that you've got, and the more people logging on to these different sites, the slower things are going to get. I need to get on cPanel really to set up the hosting. All right, give us 2 seconds. Let's get rid of that. Oh, where's my tab gone? Not even sure if anybody's still here. Right, okay, I'm going to sign in. Now that made sense to everybody. If it didn't, by the way, just give us a message, and I'll explain a few bits or anything that you're not sure about again. So this is the control panel that I was talking about. We've got some server information down the right hand side here. Excuse me. Disk usage. This is a £7 a month site. We've got unlimited disk usage, unlimited bandwidth, add-on domains, unlimited subdomains, unlimited email accounts. Unlimited databases for £7 a month. You can't really go wrong. There's other providers that will sell you things on top, like email and cloud storage. You just don't need it if you've got the £7 a cPanel and hosting. You get all that anyway. So watch out for that. You only really need the basic things that they offer you. So when you get to your cart, you'll see sometimes they might automatically check a box for you saying yes, I want email, yes, I want SSL, etc., etc. You don't need any of it if you're going for this one. So if we have a look, yeah, it's got its own file manager, all sorts of analytics you can use. Subdomain creation, add-on domains. You can monitor your bandwidth. You can install packages like being able to zip files and stuff like that on the server. SSL certificates. I mean, those I'll go through that in a later lesson. You can actually write your own SSL certificate and save yourself about £60 a year. They do expire every year, but sometimes you set up a reminder on your calendar or whatever to get it done. You know, it makes no odds. It takes you half an hour. Again, I'll go through all that again. There's email forwarding and stuff like that. Now, the emails that you get with this, you'll have to sort of configure your Outlook mailbox or your phone with the settings that it comes with on here, or just pay for G Suite, which is something like £1 a month, and that is from Google, and you can have your inbox served by Google, and it makes everything a lot easier, and it's relatively, I mean, £12 a year, it's a no-brainer. So far for 1 year, well, let's just say 2 years, so that's £24 plus your domain registration, etc., and your hosting. For 2 years, you've spent what, 120 quid? Whereas, you know, places, things like not Wix, because I think that's free now, but there's other providers. What's it? Shopify. An old bloke who spends £25 a month on his Shopify account. No need at all. It does take a little bit of time, but time is what we've got at the moment. So yeah, it'll save you loads of money. And obviously, if you've got no money coming in because your business is had to shut for the meantime, then yeah, it's Martin Lewis, money saving expert. What else have we got? Right, so let's say that this is a fresh account, a fresh install of your control panel. We've got an applications installer. Now this is for content management systems. Look at that, make me yellow on there. With a content management system, something like WordPress or Joomla, there's little to no coding required. I mean, for a basic website, you're always going to need a little bit of tweaking, but it's better to pay someone £35 for 1 hour of tweaking a couple of bits on your website than pay them £3,000 to have them build the whole thing by using HTML code or PHP starting from scratch. If you install WordPress, that runs off PHP, which is dynamically builds web pages, so there's not actually any HTML pages on the server. It's as a visitor goes and navigates through, it dynamically just builds the pages out of all these pieces. So yeah, I mean, that's you basically just borrowing code and using themes and plugins to add your functionality to the site. The best thing about WordPress is it's completely free, and there is an absolutely massive amount of help and guidance available online. I mean, you've got people, loads and loads of people doing YouTube videos. If you come across a problem, just type it in to Google, and there's always somebody that's had the same problem, and you can usually find a solution pretty quickly. People paste bits of code on there that you can add into the theme editor that will sort out a couple of bits. You know, it's for something that's free. The support is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's completely open source, and there is a public license on it, which means everything that's available on WordPress that people make, it has to be made available for free. So even the stuff that's premium, you can get an outdated version or a version before. Some stuff gets updated, you know, on the first Thursday of a month. You can get the previous version on the Wednesday, and it doesn't cost you anything. I mean, you can save yourself another 40 odd quid there. There's loads and loads of resources available, loads of help forums. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's perfect for if you want to save money and build your own website. It's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I digress. So I've got Installatron here. This is the applications installer. If we go to the browser up in the top right, we'll see some of the more well-known content management systems. These are all different things. I mean, you've got photo servers, file servers, community forums, lots and lots of stuff, and up there, top left hand corner, WordPress. So just give that a click, and in big, install this application. And when you click that, it will ask you what domain you want to set it up on. In fact, I've skipped a step here because I need you to set up your domain on the C panel. So we'll go back to that in a second. But I mean, this is a form, it's self-explanatory. There's all sorts of guidance notes for each section, everything you want to put in. You name your site, website title, my blog, website tagline, just another WordPress. Now your website title, this is what you want. If you add all the details in here, WordPress, when it installs, is going to build some of the most basic parts of your website for you, so you don't even need to do anything. Once you've installed it, you visit the website, then you get even more options. It'll ask you more questions, like your address for the contact us page. If you want to sell stuff, what types of things you want to sell, what types of business you are, and then it'll offer you pictures based on your selections that you can use that are completely royalty free. All sorts of stuff. It's absolutely brilliant and easy. It just takes a little bit of time, and that's what we've got. Right, so we go back to the control panel, and you need to add your domain. You might have registered it elsewhere or with your same provider, as I mentioned earlier. So we'll just click on domains right in the middle there, create a new domain, enter the domain in there in full. So there we go, it gives you other options. Just use businessbuilder.co.uk, submit. Then when you go into your Installatron, you select that domain. It'll be in the drop down menu. You select that domain, then go to your back to your front page of your control panel, and there we've got your IP address. This is the address that you need to tell your domain registrar, where you bought your domain from, where to point the domain to. That can take up to 72 hours to update, but you're normally done with about half an hour, depending on who your registrar is. Right, are we all keeping up? Is anyone even there? Right. Right, well, no news is good news, so I'm assuming you're happy with what I've gone through now, or I might even be teaching your grandmother to suck eggs. You might have got a lot further than this already. Feel free to ask any questions if you want to push on. If I'm wasting my time here and everybody's happy to go into something a bit more sort of in depth rather than starting off at zero. If you've already got your hosting set up, or you've got a website that you just want updating, just let me know and we'll go forwards. I don't want to sit here and waste anybody's time. Right, so let's install. What have I got on here? What domains can I use? Tell you what, I'll create another subdomain so we can start from scratch. I will call it YouTube. Isolation. .isolation.co.uk. Create that. Did I even click on that? Yeah, it's thinking. I had already clicked on it and it had already made it. Isolation.lewisleisure.co.uk. There we go. Right. So I shall go to the application installer. Find WordPress again, which is there. Install this application. Domain. So isolation. go. See, that's it. As simple as that. You just select the domain that you've got. Directory. So this is where all your files are going to be stored. You can create a directory if you want, or just leave it blank and it will be in the root directory. If you've only got one website, just leave it. Just put it as blank. Leave all these settings. You know, end user license agreement, etc. Automatic update. It's best to just leave these settings as they are. Administrator username and password. So again, I don't want to teach you grandma to suck eggs, but this is what your username and password that you're going to use to log in to the back end of the site to make all your edits. Leave all these settings again and click install. This doesn't usually take long. 60 seconds is all we're going to be waiting. There we go. You can see it's already nearly done 10%. We've only just clicked on it. Quite a quick process. Right, now that's installed, we've got 3 links here. That is the link to the website, the top one. This is the link to your control panel, and this is the link to the forum, or the official WordPress support forum. Again, it's all free. Right, so all you need to remember is / wp-admin after your domain.